In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the calculations in this slide set, 3.2 unit conversions. And I'm going to show you how to do the conversions using Microsoft Excel. We're going to start out by doing this first conversion, converting yards to feet. And the input is 17.2 yards, and they're 3 feet per yard. I'm going to go to my search window and type in Excel. EXCEL, and double click on the icon to open up the program. Excel is a spreadsheet. The columns are labeled in letters A, B, C, so forth, and the rows are labeled in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth. And if I position my cursor here, I'm in cell C4. Here I'm at cell A1. I'm going to start out by hiding my grid lines. I'm going to go to View and uncheck grid lines. I'm going to select cell A1 and drag across and select A1 and B1. Right mouse button, Format Cells, and under Horizontal Alignment, select Center and select Border. And select this bottom line here. Select OK. And now if I select away from this area, notice that these two cells are underlined. I'm going to select these two cells and right mouse button and Format Cells again, and I'm going to center align these cells. I can also do it here in this menu pick, Center, and it may also be present here in your Quick Access toolbar. But if it's not there, you can come to Format Cells and go to Alignment again, and Horizontal Alignment, make it Center, and select OK. I'm going to position my cursor here and select C1 and C2, a right mouse button, Format Cells, and I want a center alignment horizontally and a center alignment vertically, and I want to merge these two cells. Type in an X here. Here type in YD for yard. Select these from A1 to C1. Control C. Position your cursor at D1 and Control V. Here change yards to feet, FT. And underneath at the cell below at A2, type in YD for yard. Select F1 and type in equals and enter. Position your cursor at F1 and select this icon, the paintbrush. If it's not here on your Quick Access toolbar, right mouse button, and it should be here in this menu. And then position your cursor under G1 and G2. Now let's do the same again, the paintbrush and H1 and H2. Here under H, type in FT for feet. And position your cursor in G1, and we're going to type in a formula. Type in, now when I could enter my formula here, or I could enter it up here in this entry space here, but I'll just do it right here. I'm going to type in equals. You notice that the equal sign appears here also. I'm going to point to A1, type in asterisk, point to D1, the division symbol, open parentheses, A2 times asterisk, D2, close parentheses, and your formula should look like this, A1 times D2 divided by parentheses A2 times D2, close parentheses, enter. Now it gives me an error because I'm dividing by 0, but I'm going to go ahead and enter my values here. So the input was 17.2 yards, and I'm going to put a 1 here. And there are 3 feet in 1 yards. And you notice the answer is 51.6 feet. I'm going to position my cursor here between B and C, and I'm going to double click, and it'll reduce the width of my column to match this text here. I'm going to do the same thing here and here. So your finished formula should look like this. I'm going to position my cursor in A1 and go across to H1 and Control C to copy. Position my cursor in A4 and Control V to paste. And I'm going to go on to the next calculation. I'm going to convert inches to centimeters. So here I'm going to change yards to inches. And here I'm changing this to centimeters and this to inches. And the answer is in centimeters. And the input is 34.7 inches. And I'm going to convert it to centimeters. And in 1 inch, there are 2.54 centimeters. So in this calculation, the inches cancel out. You notice that the inches here and the inches here cancel out. And once I multiply these two fractions, I'll get my answer in centimeters because the centimeters do not cancel out. Same thing applies here. I don't think I mentioned it, but here the yards would cancel out. And I'm left with just feet in the numerator. Now you notice in your slide set that the answer is 88.1 centimeters, and the reason for that is the input has 1 numeral to the right of the decimal point, and so your answer should be the same with 1 numeral to the right of the decimal point. To do that, position your cursor in G1, G4, and right mouse button and select this icon, decrease decimal, and select it twice until you see a value of 88.1, and it rounds it to 88.1 centimeters. That's your answer. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to copy here, Control C, position your cursor in A7 and Control V. The next one, I'm converting kilograms to pounds. The input is 17 kilograms. And in 1 kilogram, there are 2.205 pounds. And the kilograms will cancel out here and here. And I'll be left with pounds. And so if to convert 17 kilograms are the equivalent of 17.5 pounds. Now once again, if you look in the slide set, because the input did not have any numerals to the right of the decimal point, your answer should be the same. So I'm going to position my cursor here at G1, right mouse button, and decrease decimals, and your answer should be 37. And that's the answer that appears in the slide set, 37. I'm going to go on to the next one. Now the next one has a series of 3 conversions. So we're converting inches to yards. I'm going to copy these cells, select this range, Control C, and place my cursor at A10, Control V, I'm going to position my cursor here and drag across. And then I'm going to grab this cell here, and I'm going to drag it across and place it there. And I'm going to position my cursor here and come across like that, and Control C. Position my cursor here at F1 and Control V. Hit Escape to release this capture. So my input is 345.7 inches. And the first conversion is that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. My second conversion is there are 3 feet in 1 yard. And my answer is in yards. I'm going to change my formula. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to select this and hit the delete key. I'm going to enter in my new formula. I'm going to position my cursor in J10, type in equals, point to A10, asterisk, D10, asterisk, G10, divide, open parentheses, A11, asterisk, D11, asterisk, G11, close parentheses, enter. So your formula should look like this. Now, since the input had 1 numeral to the right of the decimal place, my answer should have the same. So I'm going to position my cursor here at J1, right mouse button, and select this icon, increase decimal. And now my answer is 9.6 yards, which is what's shown in the slide set. I'm going to copy this one more time. Control C. Position my cursor at A13, Control V. Hit Escape to release that capture. Going on to the next slide. I'm going to convert miles per gallon to kilometers per liter. And the input is 55 miles per gallon. There's 0.264 gallons per liter. And in 1 kilometer, there's 0.621 miles. So we'll start out here. The input is 55 miles per gallon. And there are 0.264 gallons per 1 liter. And there's 1 kilometer in 0.621 miles. And my answer is in kilometers per liter. And you notice that here the miles will cancel out, and here the gallons cancel out, and so I'm left with kilometers per liter, and this is your answer. Now I need to change this so there are no numerals to the right of the decimal point. So I select that cell, right mouse button, and choose this, decrease decimals. And so our answer is 23 kilometers per liter. So 55 miles per gallon is equivalent to 23 kilometers per liter. I'm going to go to File, Export to PDF. Go to your Documents folder and store this as 3.2 unit conversions. Your output should look like this. Submit this PDF file to Canvas to complete your assignment.